Here's a test you didn't study for. Look at your life from the outside. Good job? Check. Friends? Check. Social media showing happiness? Check. Productivity apps tracking your progress? Check. Now answer honestly. How many times this week have you sat in your car after work, hands on the steering wheel, unable to move? How many times have you scrolled through your own photos, wondering who that smiling person really is? How many compliments have you received that felt like accusations? You're so strong, you have everything together. I wish I had your life. And with each one, the invisible wall grows thicker, because this isn't burnout, this isn't just stress. This is what they don't teach you about success. This is the psychology of high-functioning depression, the art of drowning quietly while everyone applauds your swimming. Let's name it properly, because unnamed pain grows in the dark. High-functioning depression isn't in the DSM. You won't find it in a textbook, but you'll find it in the CEO who runs a company but can't get out of bed on Sunday, in the straight-A student who cries in the library bathroom, in the parent who organizes perfect birthday parties while feeling dead inside. The clinical term is smiling depression, or persistent depressive disorder with high functioning, but those are cold words for a warm, aching reality. The reality is this: you are simultaneously achieving and grieving. Grieving a self you've lost, grieving joy you can't feel, grieving connections that don't penetrate. Your brain has learned a dangerous magic trick, how to perform wellness so perfectly that even you start to believe the illusion. The smile becomes muscle memory, the I'm fine becomes autonomic, the achievement becomes compulsive. And here's the cruelest part. It works so well that it becomes your prison. Because when you look successful, when you sound happy, when you function perfectly, who would believe you're in pain? Who would think to save you? Who would even see you need saving? You become the guard of your own invisible cell. How do you know if this is you? Not the clinical depression you know about, but this quiet, efficient version. Here are the 7 symptoms nobody talks about. First, productive exhaustion. You're not lying in bed unable to move. You're moving constantly, achieving constantly, but every task feels like wading through cement. You're tired not from doing nothing, but from doing everything. Second, emotional dissonance. You laugh at the joke, but the laughter doesn't reach your eyes. You feel love for your family, but through a thick pane of glass. It's not that you don't feel, it's that you feel from a distance, like watching your own life on a screen. Third, the imposter of happiness. You have moments that should be happy, a promotion, a vacation, a celebration, and in those moments you're acutely aware that you're supposed to feel something. So you perform the feeling, you post the photo, you say the words, and the gap between the performance and the reality becomes a canyon inside you.
Fourth, anger as a leakage. The emotions have to go somewhere. Since sadness isn't allowed in your successful life, it transforms. It leaks out as irritability at small things, as road rage, as snapping at loved ones. It's not that you're an angry person, it's that sadness, when repressed for too long, curdles into rage. Fifth, perfectionism as a life raft. If I can just be perfect enough, if I can just achieve enough, maybe then I'll deserve to feel better. Maybe then the emptiness will fill. It's the bargain you make with yourself. I'll earn happiness through flawless performance. But the goalpost keeps moving, and you keep running. Sixth, the fear of stopping. What happens if you pause? If you cancel plans? If you take a sick day? The terrifying thought isn't rest, it's the fear that if you stop performing, you might never start again, that the whole delicate structure might collapse. Seventh, the observing self. This might be the most telling. You've developed a part of yourself that watches you live. It comments, now you're having coffee like a normal person. Now you're laughing appropriately. Now you're being productive. You're both the actor and the critic.
never fully inhabiting either role. If you recognize 3 or more of these, you're not broken, you're not weak, you're not ungrateful for your good life. You're human, and you've developed a brilliant, painful adaptation to survive in a world that rewards performance over authenticity. This doesn't come from nowhere. Let's trace the roots gently. For many, it begins in childhood, not with trauma in the dramatic sense, but with a subtle, consistent message. Your worth is conditional on your performance. Maybe you learned that love came when you got the A, that attention came when you won the game, that peace in the house came when you were good and quiet and accommodating. Your young brain made a brilliant connection. When I achieve, I am loved. When I please, I am safe. Fast forward to adulthood, you have the job, the relationship, the life. But the old programming still runs. Must achieve to be worthy, must perform to be loved. Except now, there's no parents to please, no teacher to impress, so you become both the child seeking approval and the parent withholding it. You set impossible standards, you achieve them, and feel nothing. Neuroscience explains the feeling nothing part. When you're constantly achieving under pressure, your brain's reward system gets confused. Dopamine, the feel-good chemical, gets tied to the chase, not the catch, to the striving, not the arriving. So you achieve, and instead of satisfaction, you feel, what's next? Meanwhile, cortisol, the stress hormone, becomes your baseline. You're constantly slightly activated, slightly anxious, slightly on. Even in quiet moments, your nervous system is waiting for the next demand, the next expectation. And here's the cruelest twist. Your very intelligence and capability work against you. Because you're smart enough to keep functioning, because you're disciplined enough to push through, because you're strong enough to bear what would break others.
Your strengths become the bars of your cage. The solution isn't what you think. It's not try harder to be happy. It's not practice more gratitude. It's not another productivity hack. It's the opposite. It's allowing the performance to end. Let me be clear. This isn't about quitting your job or abandoning responsibilities. It's about quitting the internal performance, the one where you have to be endlessly strong, endlessly happy, endlessly productive. Step 1. Name the performance. What role are you playing? The perfect employee? The always together friend? The unbreakable parent? Name it. Write it down. Today, I'm going to stop performing as blank. Step 2. Find the smallest no, not the life-changing boundary, the tiny one. No, I can't take that extra project. No, I don't want to go out tonight. No, I need to rest. Watch what happens. The world doesn't end. People adjust, and you breathe, perhaps for the first time in years. Step 3. Relearn feeling. Start with physical sensations, not emotions. The sun feels warm. This blanket is soft. My shoulders are tight. Emotions will come when they're ready. Don't force them. Just notice sensations. Step 4. Separate achievement from worth. Practice doing something badly. Cook a terrible meal. Write a bad paragraph. Sing off-key in the shower. Prove to yourself that your worth survives imperfection. Step 5. Find the childhood script. When you feel that compulsive need to achieve, ask, how old is this feeling? Often it's 8-year-old you trying to earn a parent's love. Talk to that child. You don't have to earn love anymore. You're already loved. This isn't a quick fix. It's an unraveling of years of conditioning. Some days you'll succeed. Some days the performance will feel safer. That's okay. Progress isn't linear. Imagine something with me. Imagine treating yourself with the same compassion you'd show a tired friend. Imagine speaking to yourself with the same kindness you'd use with a struggling child. You'd say, "You've been carrying so much. You've been so strong. You can rest now. The performance is over. You're allowed to just be." This isn't becoming lazy. This isn't giving up. This is the most courageous thing you'll ever do, to stop earning your right to exist.
And a high-functioning depression served a purpose. It kept you safe. It kept you achieving. It kept you acceptable. Thank it for its service, and then, gently, let it retire. What emerges isn't a lazy person. It's a real person with real tiredness, real joy that actually feels joyful, real sadness that can be felt and released, real connections that aren't performances. You'll still achieve, but now it will come from inspiration, not compensation. You'll still work hard, but now it will be for love of the work, not fear of unworthiness. The exhaustion you feel, it's not from laziness. It's from years of smiling when you wanted to cry, of achieving when you wanted to rest, of performing when you wanted to be. That exhaustion is the truest part of you saying, I'm still here. Under all these achievements, under all these smiles, I'm still here, waiting for you to see me. So look, see yourself, not the performance, not the achievement, the human being underneath. And say just once, you're not lazy, you're exhausted from smiling, and that's okay. You can rest now. The world will keep spinning, the work will wait, the people who love the real you will still be there. But first, you must meet yourself, the self behind the smile, the self who's been waiting so patiently to be seen.